Everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Real Estate Minute Show. Today I thought it'd be fun just for a couple of minutes to answer a few questions from listeners, from subscribers. We got them kind of piled up. I answer them one to one, but I thought some of them may be interesting. So I put them into a big hat and picked three that I thought would be fun to read and answer. So here you go. Ashley T, I'm going to keep their last names out. Ashley T, should I paint my house before selling or just give a credit to a buyer? I recommend, if you can't afford it, to paint the house. Painting a house typically wouldn't run too much money depending on the size, anywhere between $4,000 to $6,000 depending on the size of the house, two-story or not. And it's got huge wow factor. Very splashy, very much curb appeal. There's certain things that you want to do that have huge payback for the front: landscaping, painting, garage doors. So I would recommend painting if you can't afford it. If you can't, touch up, paint, trims, stuff like that, you might be able to do for a fraction of the cost. Okay, Ashley? Jason K, good name, I like the name. Where do you see interest rates going? Well, that's a complicated question. But depending on who wins the election, interest rates will go one way or another. As you start raising taxes and raising capital gains tax and other things like that, banks have to offset some of that additional cost, and they're going to do that by raising interest rates. So we're going to see what happens. Right now, they're unbelievably low. I mean, like beyond historically low. So that's where I see it going. Probably, I think you're pretty safe though. Right now it's November 1st, godly, 2020. It's amazing how fast this year went, right? But November 1st, 2020, and I see pretty safe for at least the next year. That's a crystal ball thing, but any sort of policies that a new president puts in place, if there is a new one or if it's the incumbent winning, that's going to take a little bit of time to kind of mature into the market anyway. So I think interest rates will go up. They usually do. They bounce back and forth, but I think you're pretty safe for a little bit, Jason. Last question from Brandon. Does having solar panels on my house hurt my chances of selling it? Well, solar panels are interesting because there's a couple ways to go about it if you've met with a solar company. One is you could lease the solar panels or you could buy the solar panels. If you buy them, they're on your roof. They're an asset of the house, and it depends on whether the buyer likes it or not. If you lease it, the buyer has to assume that lease. So it's like another kind of getting, as they're getting a loan for the house, they're going to get approved by the solar company to be the new tenant essentially on that lease. There's really what we found, it's really interesting. Even though you might be saving quite a bit on your electrical bills, usually we see maybe a half savings or a little bit more than that. It doesn't get buyers so excited to veer them one way or another. I'd call it kind of a middle point, tending towards people like solar. Just a little bit more, but we've had some cases where people have wanted the panels gone before they close on the house. That doesn't happen very often, so it's kind of a middle point, Brandon. It really doesn't, it's not going to help, it's not going to hurt. If anything, it might help just a tad. All right, hope that was fun. We'll answer some more. I got a huge basket of questions here in a hat, so I'll get back to it in a future episode. Have a great week. See you next week on the Real Estate Minute Show.